This video shows you how to create a streams flow using one of the example flows in a Watson Studio project. Start in the Watson Studio project you created earlier with the associated Cloud Object Storage and Streaming Analytics services. On the Assets tab, create a new streams flow. In this case, the flow will be from an example. This video will look at the Data Historian example. When you select an example, the name field is filled in for you. The Streaming Analytics service should be listed here. Next, select a connection to a Cloud Object Storage or add a new connection. Lastly, specify the file path. You can navigate to select an object storage container, then add the file name to the existing path. In this case, it's streamsexample.csv. Adding %time in the file name will generate files with a timestamp suffix, so the file won't be overridden every time a new file is being written to the Cloud Object Storage operator in the flow. When you're ready, click Create. The sample data used in this streams flow contains formatted weather data that streams from several personal weather stations. Select the sample data operator to see its properties. If you edit the schema, you'll see that the data includes station ID, time zone, date, timestamp, longitude, latitude, temperature, barometric pressure, humidity, and rainfall today, with the data aggregated according to weather station. Select the first aggregation operator. The type is tumbling. All tuples tumble out every 60 seconds, and then the designated function for each attribute is applied. The sample data is from several weather stations, each with its own partition, and every partition has one group, and each partition is grouped by ID for aggregation. Aggregation is done asynchronously to individual partitions in the window. For example, the pass-through function is done on the ID and most of the other attributes of each partition. This function permits those attributes to pass through without any filtering or change. In contrast, other functions such as standard deviation, min, max, and average are done on the other attributes. And you can view the input and output schema from here. Select the second aggregation operator. This operator ingests the output from the first aggregation operator. The second operator is defined like the first, except that the tuples tumble out every 180 seconds. As a result, aggregation is done much less frequently in the second aggregation operator. Select the Cloud Object Storage operator. In this example, the data is stored in the specified streams example file in your Cloud Object Storage container and instance. In this case, the data will be stored in CSV format. And lastly, decide when to create a new target file. The options are after a number of events, after a specified number of seconds, or when a specific file size is reached. And again, you can view the input and output schema. You can run the streams flow from here, or you can save the flow and return to the metrics page. The flow is currently in a stopped state. When you run the flow, the state changes from stopped to building and deploying to running. And the data flow starts at sample data, continues to the first and then to the second aggregation operators, and ends in Cloud Object Storage. Watch the next video in this series to see how to use the metrics page to monitor and troubleshoot a streams flow. Find more videos in the Cloud Pak for Data as a Service documentation.